All right, welcome back, fellas. It's episode 19 of Late Night Tinkering. I'm juiced to be here. Who's as juiced as me?
Neither of
Wow.
us.
Wow, zero energy. That's incredible. Coupe, you had a good week.
I did.
What's going on? Like, why aren't you juiced? I understand why Charlie wants to be done with this podcast, done with this game, moving on to next season. I don't understand why you are. Like,
I'm just not quite as juiced as you. I mean, there are some issues in my squad right now, and I'll get into that. But
everyone has issues, baby.
well, I have a guy who didn't play across a whole double.
Yeah, but you got a big 1 point off your bench, right? Or 2 points or whatever the fuck it was. It might have been zero.
You realize that was the joke that was made.
Yeah, it was zero,
All
wasn't it?
auto subbed in to give me zero.
Yeah. Not even one. Well, let's recap our game weeks, fellas. And Charlie, I want you to start because you haven't said a word this entire episode. And it's been like a whole minute and a half.
Yeah, this is one of the low points of my life, to be honest. Right, what I'm feeling right now. Assistant manager is just really, it's really gone inside my head. And I mean, look, everyone in my mini league has Emery pretty much ahead of me. I'm fighting to claw back ground.
I'm with you, dude. I got slapped.
I'm in the office. They go down 2-1. Can't even watch the game. And I'm almost screaming at my boss. And it's really tough. Throwing my phone across the office. It's really bad. But at least Liverpool got a draw. Look, it would have been very nice to get the win. I did send a couple of angry messages to Darwin Núñez on Instagram. We'll get to that. If anyone saw his miss, it was 0.089 XG. And I'm not really an XG nerd like Hassan is, but even I know that's a pretty high number.
Yeah, it was a good chance.
But yeah, so we had 12-point swing last week with James Tarkowski, Thunder Bastard finish in the 98th minute. 12-point swing this week with Darwin Núñez being an absolute fucking idiot. Just kind of want the season to be over, but we're going to keep battling. It's not our nature to give up. But
so are you gonna go into your team
Anyway, having said all that, 94 points, tiny green. Trent.
Wait, you greened this week and you're pissed off?
I mean, I played my assistant manager. It's like I basically had a red.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trent. Somehow getting the clean sheet for Poole, and then good goal today. Obviously Mo half of the points are from fucking Mo Salah. Brought in Clivett this week, who got me a nice assist. Could have had more, but we can't be too greedy.
0.06 expected assists. 0.02 expected goals.
But he could have had more.
Dude, he should have had more, bro. He had a header from a corner saved off the line, and then Semenyo hit the bar like the same play before, leading to the corner. João Pedro, big 1-pointer, coming off the bench in the 75th minute, missing 2 big chances. Thank you, João Pedro. And yeah, not going Isak to Watkins. Tough, but I still think over the next 4 weeks, Isak will outscore Watkins. That's my bold prediction, including this week. So I still think Isak holders don't worry just because Watkins got a couple of lucky goals.
So you're giving Watkins a 13-point advantage, and you still think Isak gets it done?
Yeah. Ooh, it's tough. They do have Liverpool away. Yeah. Yes, they will.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, anyway, 94 points. Sorry. Moved up to 665,000 in the world. Just kind of, have you ever been to Orlando? Have you ever been to the water park there? The lazy river? That's what I feel like. I'm just on the lazy river right now. Can't really go anywhere. Just bobbing along, having a little Corona, just bobbing along. But
well, I feel like that's Hassan more. I mean, because
he had 2. What do you mean? He had 2. He's currently walking up the 60 mile per hour slide.
I'm sprinting up there.
He's sprinting up. He might trip and fall down, but he's sprinting.
For now, I'm sprinting, exactly. Because I was on the lazy river for a while, but now I'm sprinting.
Yeah, you got off the lazy river.
Yeah, I did get off the lazy river. And since we've kind of transitioned into it, I'm just going to go ahead and leave you for last, Coupe. I had another huge week. and Beto scored again.
It's insane.
Which is just the best part of this FPL season. Like, it could end today with my current rank, and I would just be happy that I caught a Beto flurry. I saw something today that I actually thought was pretty interesting. I was watching a 442 video. Anyone who doesn't watch 442 on YouTube, go check it out. Great channel. And apparently, pre-Moyes this season, so under Sean Dyche, they were creating like XG per shot, like the average XG per shot was the lowest in the Premier League, and their conversion rate was also the lowest in the Premier League. And now it's basically the opposite. Their XG per shot is one of the highest in the Premier League, and their conversion rate is third. And so I've managed to time Beto right on there, and Beto goes ahead and scores again. But yeah, I've had 2 huge weeks. I have gone from 1.4 million to my highest game week finish this whole season at 742K. I have not been this high at any point in the season. So it feels good. It feels good that I'm on the right track. It feels good that I rolled for 5 straight weeks to be ready for this moment. And I managed to get 6 doublers in back-to-back weeks, and it hit pretty big. I went Isak to Watkins this week. I had Digne get an assist. Obviously, Ollie with 2 goals and a total of like 4 bonus points. Captain Mo, which, you know, who cares? Beto with the goal. Trossard with an assist. Trent with a goal and a clean sheet. And Gabriel with a clean sheet. The only thing that I missed was Flecken on my bench. I played Pickford over Flecken, and Flecken got a clean sheet and 10 points. But huge week, up to 742K. I'm feeling good. I'm ready for the next week. And I'm ready to get to take back my rightful spot of leader of LNT, which is going to happen pretty soon, Coupe. As you heard earlier today, you are only 56 points ahead of me now.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm coming for you, dude.
Okay.
This is a declaration of war.
I think you made that pretty clear over the last 15 weeks or so.
Now go ahead and tell us how you did.
Everything considered, honestly, worked out okay, I would say. Ended up on a very small green.
Well, I'd just like to preface, if you saw Coupe's text after the first Villa game, I don't think he would have said everything was going okay. The guy sounded like he wanted to jump off Brooklyn Bridge and never swim again.
Dude, yeah, he did. He was not happy with the Ipswich 1-1.
Yeah. But sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys are getting into it for me. It was an absolutely awful start. At the end of the day, I decided that I was also going to attack the double again. Ended up bringing in 2 villains. Rogers. The villain.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Ended up bringing in Rogers for Borges. Tough one for me, but had to part way with my guy. And I ended up playing my assistant managership on Unai Emery. And so when that 10 a.m. slate ended and Villa had drawn Ipswich at home 1-1 and played for a majority of the game against a team that, let's face it, with their starting 11, they're one of the worst teams in the Prem. But they were playing with 10 men for more than half the game. All they could muster was 1 goal. Yeah, I was pretty pissed that Emery only got 4 points from that game.
Hey, Coupe, who got that goal?
I know. It was Watkins. You know, that
My
was
boy.
really... That was the move that, like, it was thrown out there. It was always something that could be in play. And it was always going to be a decent move with the double. But with Isak being in the form he's been in, it was just not... It was something that I don't think that many people move to. But that was definitely the big move of the week if you attack the double. And unfortunately, Rogers didn't get it done. He had basically one XG against Ipswich, couldn't get it done. But the fact that Emery salvaged the draw against Liverpool makes me feel somewhat decent about playing the assistant managership. But I will say, moving forward with the limited transfers that I'm on and the injuries in my squad, like Cody Gakpo, who I expected to at least come off the bench for one of the games in the double, but didn't see the pitch at all. I mean, I'm starting to honestly get concerned about what that injury is. At the same time, I know Slot is probably playing it safe because he wants his preferred left winger for what is probably their biggest game in the season up until this point. But it's annoying now that I have one transfer. I have guys that are injured. Let's not forget about Endai. He's just sitting on my bench injured. And I also have to worry about playing the system managership. So we'll get into tinkering. No complaints really on how the game week finished up, but there's going to be a lot to think about over the next couple weeks before the big blank in 29 for a lot of teams.
You're in a tough spot.
Coupe's going to be late night thinkering for the next couple days.
He is going to be late night thinkering, dude. Well, he doesn't have too many days. I mean, the deadline's on Friday, so he can only late night thinkering tonight before he does some late night tinkering tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Coupe, honestly, it is pretty tough for Emery owners to get the double draw. I also think it's kind of tough for slot owners as well. 4 games, 2 wins, 2 draws. Like, I think we all talked about this.
I think if you said to Emery owners they're getting, what do you get, 14 points before the week, you'd take that. Like, because that's, that's, come on. That's.
Honestly, I would say it falls right in the middle of the range of outcomes that I was expecting. I was expecting Villa to beat Ipswich. I was expecting that to be a 9-pointer. And then there's also a decent chance that they get nothing from that Liverpool game. So I feel like realistically Emery ends on 10 or 11 or he ends on 18 or 19. So I feel like 14 is a fair outcome.
How electric was it for the brief moment that you had a 20-pointer from Emery sitting like just on your screen?
I honestly, I wasn't really looking at it. And
well, you knew it was happening though. Like, you at some point you knew Villa were winning, and they were winning for basically roughly like 20 minutes. So for those 20 minutes, you know you're hitting big. How does it feel?
I mean, you want me to go into rage mode here, but I literally texted you guys before the game. I was like, both teams are scoring 2. Liverpool might get more. So
I don't want you to go into rage mode. I want to know how it feels for 15 minutes. Like, in that moment when you're hitting, does it feel good? Like, is it a massive sweat?
I guess it's a sweat, man. Honestly, I didn't really expect them to get a win from this game. It would have been nice, but honestly, with the way that Liverpool have been playing this year, even with Villa up 2-1 at half, I mean, there's a very real world where Villa come out of that game with 0 points. So I'm honestly glad they held on, especially after seeing the highlights and the chance that Darwin Nunez missed.
Did you see Mullen's shot with 10 seconds left?
I did. I did. It was a really good chance. It was
this far wide.
I know. They okay. They had some very good chances in stoppage time. They were definitely pushing for one at the end of the game, but it just didn't happen.
I agree. Well, Coupe, how'd you do in the cup?
Yeah, another cup win. Can you guys believe it? I mean, I can believe it. I can believe it when I saw the squad that Abdo rolled out for this week. He had 2 doublers going into the week, just Salah and Gakpo, but of course Gakpo didn't play. So he really only had 1 doubler in the week. And my guy Abdo over here is still rocking with triple Newcastle, which didn't pay off for him so well this week. So we are moving on in the cup. That is 10 wins in the cup now this year.
I think you got 11. That's 11.
10. Oh, no, you're right. 11 wins in the cup this year.
Coupe, that's insane, bro.
That's pretty unreal. That's
11.
Dude, I said he was going to win it. Like, there's,
he might win it. Bro, I've never seen someone go this far. Like, someone I know, like someone that is in my fantasy league and I talk to about the game frequently. Like, this is insane. This is quite the run.
This is dumb, but it goes up until 36, right?
38, man.
No, it goes up till the final week, dude.
Holy 38 is what I meant. Okay, well, it is now the round of
8,000?
8,100 something. So
Yeah.
8,192.
So
Yeah,
if you can get like 2 more rounds
8,192.
top 1,000, that's pretty sick. That's something for the LinkedIn page. But
Yeah, that is something for the LinkedIn
let's
page. But wait, Coupe. Wait, hold on. Coupe, what's your overall rank now?
245,670? 730.
Nice.
So-
Well, we're all off our 100K goal, but we can all do it.
yeah,
I believe.
it's not. It's just a
Dude,
couple good weeks.
Just a couple good weeks.
I feel like it's tough. Like I'm not in a place to do it with my transfers, but I feel like I'm gonna have to go super alt at some point.
Yeah.
With my team.
Yeah, you're on shit place. You're in a shit place, dude.
Me?
I can't. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel now we're talking about this. I feel like it's a nice chance to segue into assistant manager for 26, right? Because I mean, we know that a ton of people are on. I mean, I feel like every active manager is probably on assistant manager this week. At least a lot of them are going to be on assistant manager this week. A lot of people played it last week. Some people played triple last week and then played it this week. Started with their first week of AM this week. But I'm in the situation where, for me, I've got slot. I'm okay with slot versus City away. So I'm only looking to move to a manager for a table bonus chance, right? And I think this week there are 5 chances where table bonus is up for grabs. We have Leicester at home to Brentford, Palace away to Fulham. Oh, West Ham away to Arsenal, but that's probably that's the least likely one that you want to pick, really. Palace away to Fulham, Ipswich at home to Spurs, and Southampton at home to Brighton. So there's 5 chances there. I'm going to be looking to, if I'm moving to one of those guys. Who are your top? Give me your top choice each. I know, Hassan, you've been pretty heavy on this one team all week with.
I actually changed.
Oh, you changed? Well, Hassan was on Leicester
Recently,
all week, and then it seems
I
like
was.
he is pivoting away from that idea. Talk to us about that.
I like Leicester a lot, and if you are going for table bonus, they are one of the teams that I do like. The only thing is, which is something we'll get to later, I may be captaining a bald, bad man, and I'm not going to captain against my assistant manager. You know what I mean? That's pointless. And so then I think for me, I would stay away from West Ham. Like, they're just not playing well. Arsenal are good at the Emirates. Just no need. It would be Ipswich versus, I think Ipswich at home versus Spurs is a really good one. And I think Crystal Palace away at Fulham is also a really good one. So I would either go between Glasner or Postecoglou. But if you're not going to captain Mbuemo, or Mbumo, sorry. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. McKenna, my bad. But if you're not going to captain Mbumo, then I would also consider Rude. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Coupe? Are you looking to make a move? I mean, Villa against Chelsea at home isn't a bad fixture. The only thing is, obviously, Villa having way less rest than Chelsea may come into play. But
I would get off Villa. I would basically almost for sure get off Liverpool as well.
Here's the thing. Like, I think that all the new signings that Villa have made are going to come particularly in handy for a game like this, when it will be their 3rd game in a week. And at the end of the day, like, Villa are on, I don't know what it is now. It's either a 12 or a 13 match unbeaten run at home. So I like my chances of at least getting a draw from Emery against a Chelsea team who I wouldn't back against. I wouldn't back against a lot of other teams right now, just the way that they're playing. So I honestly probably will stick with Emery, especially because they're, like, unfortunately, when I played the AM chip, I wanted to be able to, pick and choose and really, I was planning to dedicate my transfers to using that chip in the best way. But there are a lot of issues in my team. And honestly, the decision will probably come down to the news that Slot says about Gakpo. If Gakpo is not playing at all again, I can't afford to play 4 defenders and have 2 injured strikers. But getting into, let's just talk about it theoretically for the assistant managership. I mean, Leicester's exciting, of course. It's It's at home against Brentford. Brentford really haven't been particularly impressive. They've kind of been gritting out some wins, but they haven't been putting up some of the crazy goal numbers like they were earlier this year. And even when they were doing that earlier this year, they weren't doing it away from home. So Leicester exciting, but you do have to remember the fact that I think they haven't scored in their last 5 home games. So it's like there is just very like there is very little to be confident about if you're going to back Leicester. I probably like Ipswich the most. I know Spurs are a little bit healthier. They got some players back, but Ipswich, of course, won the reverse fixture earlier this year, and I think that I think it's a good matchup of styles for their best player, Liam Delap, to shine. I could see him scoring again in that game, and I like Crystal Palace as well. Like Fulham, it's 2 impressive wins in a row from Fulham, and Crystal Palace this year have kind of been lacking that home form that they might have been known a little bit more for in past years. But at the end of the day, the way I see this game is that Crystal Palace, it's hard for me to see Crystal Palace not at least getting a draw in this game. I think that Palace are definitely going to score at home.
You realize it's at the Cottage, dude.
Oh, my bad. That was a bad mistake. Just throw out everything I was just saying. But I guess still, I think that Palace score in this game, and the only way that there's only one score that I think is realistic to expect from this game where Palace don't get any points from it, and that's 2-1 Fulham.
I'll add to
that.
And Palace have been exceptional away from home recently. I think they unbeaten maybe in 6 out of 7 games. They've been just a wagon away from home, which is kind of the opposite of what you expect from Palace. Usually they're rocking at Selhurst Park. But yeah, I'd have to agree. So I won't be making a transfer from, say, Slot to Arteta. I think the upside is way too minimal. Arsenal's attack, they looked pretty blunt for 80 minutes against Leicester away last week. Really only having one good, whatever is Nwaneri, what fucking Hassan calls him, kind of dragged that Arsenal team to a win, like a 17-year-old. If they're starting Sterling week in, week out, I mean, I'm not going to be backing a team that's starting Raheem Sterling in the year 2025. I'll tell you that. So I won't be making a sideways move. So I'll either be sticking with Slop or probably looking at McKenna or Glasner. I think Ipswich did a number on Spurs earlier in the season away from home where they won. I think it was 2-1. And obviously we all know about Spurs' form, absolutely dreadful. So, and Ipswich need a result from this. So I could see Ipswich nicking a draw at the minimum, to be honest. So that's probably the way I'll go. Yeah. And if I don't, we'll talk about this later. But if I don't use a manager transfer, I will be just rolling as well, because kind of one of my moves depends on freeing up a little money. So that
I will just say one more thing on the assistant managership. I think it's very team based. So like Charlie said, if you have one free transfer, and let's say using this free transfer this week on going from Slot to someone like Arteta, makes you have to take like a hit to field out 11 players in 29 if you don't want a free hit, then I don't think it's worth it, because if you have to take a hit for it, well, I don't think Arteta with a hit is that much better than Slot, given Liverpool could beat City. And like you said, like Arsenal could in theory draw, right? So like if they were to both draw, it starts getting like real iffy if you have to take a hit for it. But if you're sitting on like 3 free transfers and you just don't want to have Slot because you are not certain that Slot will beat City, which is a perfectly reasonable conclusion to come to. Like, I know City haven't been as good this year, etc., but it's at the Etihad. It's a big game, and they can always turn up for one game. Like, their problem this season is more consistency as opposed to, like individual games. If you have like 3 free transfers, I don't think moving to Arteta is that big of a deal, or someone of the ilk, right? But yeah, for me, it's just like I have one free transfer. I think, Charlie, you also have one free transfer
Yeah.
or two.
I have one. I think it's unreasonable to expect people to have frees, especially after a couple doubles. Like, people are going to...
Maybe, but people
I
could
think
have
people either have
frees.
one or two, really. Like, if you're saving the transfers and not using them for the doubles, then you're probably playing the game wrong, to be honest. So I'm going to assume most people either have one or two. And
Yeah, my point is, if you can get to 29 without taking any hits, then you can consider doing slot to someone like Arteta. If not, then I would consider only slot to table bonus managers.
Yeah.
Which is what like me and you are going to do. Like if I go slot to Arteta, I will probably have to take a hit. And so now the only way for me to the only way for me to feel like there's good upside that I'm going to take that hit is if I could give myself the chance at an 18-pointer.
Yeah.
Like, that's just nice. So,
I mean, I think we can start talking about 29 is only 4 game weeks away. I think we have to kind of start talking about planning for game week 29, right? That you only have, assuming you only have one transfer this week, you have 4 transfers between now and 29. And I'm going to assume people have at least 2 Liverpool, at least 1 Newcastle, possibly 2, and at least 1 Villa, possibly 2. So you have a minimum really of 4 people there that you can't be playing in 29, possibly 5 or 6 if kind of you've been just banking on those assets for these weeks. And, I think we have to talk about kind of the decision to sell Salah, the decision to sell Isak, and how that looks. I know we kind of touched on it early in the week, and I'm very against. For me, I think I will be navigating 29 without selling Salah or Isak. Because if I sell both of them, that's a million in team value I'm losing right there, which at this point is just too much, I think, to be losing. That's obviously assuming that you got both, at their starting prices or, where they were a few weeks ago before they rose crazy. I know you guys probably got Salah a bit later, but it's still probably 0.8 you'd have to eat if you were to get rid of both. So I think my plan will be to get Salah and Isak will be staying on the bench. I'll probably be selling Trent. I'll be selling Rodgers, and I need to get rid of Ndai. Obviously, he's injured. So that's 3 transfers, which would mean in 29 I can field 4-4-2, which doesn't sound too bad. Not ideal. And then that allows me 1 transfer either to do a manager transfer this week, or I would get rid of JP and try and find another striker. So that's where I'm at right now.
yeah, I mean, 29's interesting. My plan is the actual opposite of yours. I've already let go of Isak, and I plan on letting go of Mo as well. For me, I got Mo at 13.5. He's 13.7 now, and I sell him at 13.6. So I only lose 0.1 on Mo, and I lose 0.5 on Isak. Yeah, so it'll be a total of 0.6, but I think with a wild card, you can figure that out, especially with the fact that there are a couple of much cheaper, there are a couple of good cheap options now as well. And one of the places where a lot of my money was going was Trent. And I think through 26 or 25 weeks at this point, we can say that Trent probably is not worth the 7 mil. He's a great asset. He's going to get a lot of points. But is he worth 7 million? Probably not. So I could make up that 0.6 million by downgrading Trent to, let's say at that point, a second Arsenal defender because I already have Gabriel. But yeah, I also don't plan on free hitting in 29. I would say to those who don't know what to do, I would say if you have to take more than 2 hits, you have to take more than 2 hits, minimum to field 11, you would have to take 3 hits. I would probably just free hit in 29 and navigate the future with whatever chips you have. If you could do it with 2 hits, then you're starting to be on the fence of, okay, just take the hits, save your free hit for another time. There's going to be another blanket 34, supposedly. Everything should be confirmed by around game week 30 or 31, which would give a little bit more clarity. So that's that's currently my plan, is just I don't want to use my free hit before all the doubles and blanks are confirmed. And so I'm going to try and get to 29 without using it. And I think I can just by making one transfer basically per week for the next 4 weeks. But I will be getting rid of Isak and Mo Salah, which I've already done with one of them. And I'll just give you a little sneak peek. But I think the big Viking, Erling Haaland, is going to be back in my squad in 29, and that's just a little bit exciting because he's been in good form recently.
He was also injured. He didn't play against Madrid today.
Yeah, I know, but
probably not too much to read into that, but who knows?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Definitely a bit concerning. I mean, that's of
course
that's their biggest game of the season so far.
And they got smoked.
They're not playing their best player, so yeah,
they got smoked by Kylian.
Yeah, they got railed. So that's obviously concerning, but I think in a few weeks it'll be fine.
Maybe things change in a couple weeks for Big Earl, but I mean his form is fine. Like let's not gas it up. And his form is definitely not still. His form is still not anywhere near 15 mil good.
Yes, but I mean he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 returns in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In his last, he has 8 returns in his last 6, and that's without bonus. If you also combine bonus, he's gotten a total of 8 bonus during that time. So 8 bonus points and 8 returns in 6 games. That's pretty good.
And there you go. That as we've talked about before is one of the big issues with him. He has 6 returns and only 8 bonus to show for it.
You'd expect him to get a little bit more. Yeah, like if that's Mo, he's like basically getting bonus in every single game.
He has like 20 bonus Mo from that.
Well, dude, even if he's Chris Wood, dude.
God,
we're not talking about Chris Wood on this podcast.
Chris Wood has 1 blank in his last 8 games. By the way, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, good talk. I am one of those people who's listening live and not sure what they're doing. So I'm figuring it out with this Gakpo injury, with this Ndai injury. But if I had to go one way right now, I'd say that I probably am free hitting in 29, just because I like So I have 3 Liverpool players. Assuming that Gakpo is not injured for long term, I plan on keeping Gakpo through 30, at least, because they have Southampton at home, they have the blank, and then they have Everton at home. So with Gakpo, Salah, Trent, and Hall and Isak, that's basically let's ignore the goalie. That's 5 of my guys that can get attacking points who have good fixtures in 30. That's why I'm probably looking to free hit 29, and then it is dicey though, because we know that the last double and whatever blanks are going to be confirmed sometime after the game week 30 deadline. That's all we know. We know it's going to be.
Is that true? Is it after the 30 deadline?
I thought it was maybe before 30.
Yeah, I thought by 30 we should know.
Oh wow, I read after 30.
Maybe it's by 31 we'll know.
It's one of them, that's for sure.
I mean, we know Newcastle and Crystal Palace are doubling in 32. We know a couple of other teams are going to be doubling in 33. And we know that 34 should be a blank. Like, we just don't know what teams yet. So that's kind of the situation. But yeah, keep going, Coupe.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, so that basically only leaves, if we take those 5 guys and then think about the other 5 guys who I would have to build like a serviceable team around in 29 without free hitting, it's just kind of, it's just a gross task when you start looking at it. Like, because my best asset after that becomes Palmer, who has Arsenal away that week. I don't think Bumo has a very easy fixture. Who does he play? He plays Bournemouth. He plays Bournemouth away in 29. It's really not great. So
Brian's fixture proof.
I guess he is, but he's cooled off recently. But you could say
he has cooled off a bit.
but I'm probably looking to free hit 29 just because of the state that my team is in and the transfers that I have.
I think
Here's the thing,
it makes sense for you.
Here's the thing. If Gakpo's... what really sucks for you is Ndai. Because if Ndai was, the boy Beto.
I don't know.
He plays in 29, you could keep him. And if Gakpo's hurt, you're already getting rid of one of your Liverpool players. And then you could easily get rid of like Rodgers. And then you could bench a few people, and you could easily get rid of Hall. So that's 3 people you could toss out right there and just bench Salah and Isak and whoever your other Liverpool, Trent, whomever it is. Like, there are ways to get around doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you have some transfers.
Dude, I don't even want to. I'll cook it up after this podcast and see what the potential team. I'll see what my best possible team could look like without taking hits, or maybe taking 2 max. But that's the other thing. I just don't my bench pieces are either injured, or they're not, or they're just not very good. Like, I don't want to have to be building a team around Mikolenko and Castagna in 29. Like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. How much is a free hit worth to you? Like, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Is a free hit worth 12 points to you?
Well, my answer to that question will depend on how long I continue in the cup.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you get to 29 and you're in a shit position and you're still in the cup, you bet your ass you're free hitting. You got to forget overall rank in mini league for a second. You got to free hit. Make sure you get to 30. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That is a great answer.
I do think free hit for Coupe makes sense in 29. He has 5 guys who blanked that week. He also has an assistant manager who's probably going to want to move at least one of these 2 weeks. And it just...
I mean, dude, those are the same for me as well.
Yeah, but... Huh?
Me and Coupe are in the same boat.
You don't have 5 assets blanking, do you?
I do. I have 2 Villa assets.
He also has an injured guy.
I have 3 Villa assets and 2 Liverpool assets.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And I want to get off slot this week, which I plan on doing.
Okay. So you're in the same boat, but it's tricky. It's not easy.
Yeah, it is. It is tricky. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to find how much is a free hit worth to you. To me, it's around 8 points. Like, I don't think I'd want to take 3 hits, but if I had to, I would take 2 hits to keep my free hit.
That's good.
So that's just kind of what you have to ask yourself.
Well, I think it's also just important to consider, like, how big. I haven't looked into it that much. How big is the blank supposed to be in 34? Like, is free hit?
I mean, it could theoretically be 8 teams. If you have, it's the FA Cup semi-finals that week, right? If you have 4 teams who don't play each other, they're all Premier League teams. That you could have, that's only 6 fixtures going on compared to 8 fixtures going on in 29. But we also do know pretty much that Liverpool, Chelsea, Everton are all going to play 34, so that's a little bit of assurance that you have those. I mean, Liverpool, you're probably going to want 2 or 3 assets from Liverpool. Probably have Palmer, so that's at least 4 guys playing. But yeah, it could be 8 teams, probably likely around 6, I would say. Maybe 6 teams blanking that week, but we'll see. But
34 is Everton. 34 is Everton at home for Cole, so that definitely makes free at 29 seem a little more appealing in my head right now.
I mean, dude, Cole could be gone from my team.
He could be too.
But if you free hit in 34, you could bring him back to that 1 fixture.
I mean, I would definitely be trying to. I think I will be going. Chip plan right now is going to be 30 or 31 wildcard, 32 triple on Isak for Manu and Palace at home, 33 bench boost, free hit 34. And then if we've rolled enough, then we can get kind of a mini wildcard thingy going in 35, 36 and kind of attack those last fixtures with some differentials. So that's
basically what I'm on right now.
I think that's what most people who haven't played triple probably look like right now. So we'll see. But I think that's enough talk about free hits and chips and stuff. let's wrap it up. We got 3 categories. Let's start with captaincy for game week 26. Obviously, Mo's got City away. It's a fine fixture, but if you're needing like a little rank boost, like some of us are on this pod, I think a differential captain could be cheeky. Hassan, I know you've already floated the idea of Brian from Brentford.
I think I'm going to do it.
You think you're locked?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm locked. Okay, I'm like 51-49 right now, Brian.
Brian versus others, or you have another guy?
Brian or Mo? It's just Brian or Mo.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cole's been in bad form. Chelsea, if Chelsea and Cole were in better form, I would say like Cole's also an option. I'm not saying he's not an option, but is Villa away for Chelsea the way they're playing right now, the way they look right now, really that much better than City away for Liverpool? Especially since Mo is better than Cole as well, like in terms of just getting involved with goals specifically, like. So to me, it's like at that point, why go Cole? Either go someone big differential, like good fixture. Leicester away is a great fixture.
Maybe a Bournemouth mid.
Yeah, I mean, who do Bournemouth play?
Wolves at home.
I have to look at. Yeah, I mean okay. Like honestly, if I had Mr. Ouattara, if I had Dango Ouattara, I might stick it on Dango Ouattara. I don't have Dango Ouattara. So I'm really close to going Mbumo, and predicted points on FPL reviews says Mbumo's the captain this week. So it felt nice to have my decision kind of like backed up by something. It's still hard to do though. I've been burned by Mo so many times, which is why I'm not confirming anything so Charlie doesn't tell me that I don't have balls when he finds out on Friday at 12:30 that I didn't captain Mbumo. The fact that my captain would be playing on Friday and my week could be ruined before it even starts is scary. It's just scary, dude. It takes a certain type of FPL manager that can deal with that. If you're not the type of person that can deal with that, like if Mbumo blanks and you're just going to be done for the whole weekend, it's going to ruin your mood, I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. But I kind of like it, so I might. I'm leaning towards Brian right now. Yeah.
Not Isak, not an option.
I don't have Isak.
I was going to say Ollie's kind of enticing, but it's just tough that he has played 90 twice in 4 days, and then he's going to be playing a third game in a week. But at the same time, we've talked about this, like who comes in for Ollie?
No one. No, yeah. I'm not worried about his minutes.
And at the end of the day, as long as he's out there, he's on pens, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of Ollie. Like Ollie's kind of there too. Like my point is, you could go against Mo this week. It's there, but I think I'm gonna go Brian.
Yeah, I might go differential. If I'm going to go differential, it will either be on Alexander Isak or Justin Kluivert. Because I know...
please put it on Kluivert.
Because if Justin Kluivert hauls and Ivan's captain, it is just going to destroy the shit out of Coupe and Hassan.
I would lose it. I would lose it. I would lose it if you captain Kluivert.
Just a hat-trick of pens? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it would be like the one he got earlier this season.
Yeah. Fixture against Wolves.
Dude, do it.
It's actually, I read something today. It's what kickstarted this absolute flurry he's been on.
Yeah, the hat trick.
That was the first game where he finally came out of his massive FPL hibernation and did something.
Charlie, I think you should, for the story, for everything, I think you should captain Justin Kluivert.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like, you know how good you'll feel if he hits?
I mean, I'm looking at his numbers the last 6 weeks. Like, I know he's on pens, but 0.42, 1.18, 0.33, 0.61, 0.71. Like, good numbers. And a team that should... I mean, Wolves have looked a bit better in the last few weeks, I will say that. If they looked as bad as they did early in the season, I'd probably be more inclined to go Kluivert. But I'm like a third each way right now. I could maybe less on Isak just because he's a forward, but we'll see. Coupe?
Should I stick the captaincy on Beta?
No, I mean, yeah, they played Man U.
You won't do that just because they're playing your boys.
Yeah, I would never do that. Coupe.
Bumo's very enticing. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into just how Brentford have been and not paying enough attention to the fact that it is Leicester in their. They're probably the worst team in the Prem right now. I mean, Southampton have been picking up a couple points. I would say that Leicester are the worst team in the Prem right now.
Leicester under Rude are terrible.
They're awful.
They're so bad.
I don't know. You guys might have some thoughts about how the styles of the two teams match up. I don't know if it is. I just don't know if the game is conducive to a Brian Fleury. But of course, when the guy's on pens, anything can happen. I just like we're talking about all these other alternates, and it's just like, do any of these guys get more than one return? Because I back Mo to get a return.
Here's the thing, Coop. Can you not see this happening? Brian gets a shitty assist. He then gets Brentford get a pen in the 65th. He scores it. That's a goal and an assist and 3 bonus.
Yeah.
That's a 13-pointer right there, by the way.
Who did he do that? He basically had that exact he had that exact stat line against Southampton when we got burned. So it was basically that.
No. Dude, against Southampton, he had way more. Against Southampton, he had 19.
I know.
But like, you see my point? Like,
that's how it began. It was like an assist and a pen. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll use my transfer on Dango and captain him. We'll see. But
Watara.
I'm considering Bumo, but I don't know. Mo seems safe. I think Mo gets a return against Man.
Mo is safe
against Man City.
Yeah, I mean it's fair. It's not like Man City's defense is watertight, bro. Like it's not.
I mean, they did keep a clean sheet against Newcastle. It's not bad.
Yeah, but you saw what Kylian Mbappe did to them today. It was just, it was horrific, dude. Like 3rd minute of the game, one over the top ball from defense just sliced them open, and Mbappe just slotted it in. Well, he chipped it in, but it's just great. Like Mo can torch him. Like yeah, he can haul. I mean, and he torched them when they played last time.
What did he do again?
Against City last time. I believe he got a goal and an assist.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you. Yeah, he got a goal and an assist.
Clean sheet, 3 bonus.
And he could have had more. I remember in that game, like, it was lucky that he only got a goal and assist. So
Is that how we felt at that time when we were sweating him out?
Yeah.
Should we wrap things up?
I have one more thing about this week. Quickly, Charlie, for me and for yourself and for other viewers, do you start JP this week?
I think I will be.
Yeah, I think he's going to... Hot take, I think he's back in the lineup this week for Southampton.
I don't know. If I knew... I mean, it's... Honestly, give me 30 minutes of JP like against... I mean, I don't have any other better options. I can't move off him.
Welbs just did? He starts?
I mean, he'd play in the 9. He'd play in the 10, so he wouldn't be playing up top. So it would, but Minter's been playing so well that I think they stick with. I think right now it's between Ruter and JP for that 10 spot. I think Minter's been really good. He's locked down that right wing. We'll see.
So start one of Rodgers or JP.
Oh, Rodgers.
Okay, what about start 2 of Rodgers, JP, and Beta?
Rodgers and Beta.
Yeah, Rodgers and Beta for sure.
JP, the thing is, for me, it's I have Ndai, who's obviously out. So for me, it's between JP or Mikalenko. And I've already got...
Oh, okay, that's easy. Yeah,
it's a bit different. But yeah, I think I'll be starting JP just because I love punishment. And yeah.
I think I'm going to be benching Rodgers, man.
Dude.
I could see Rodgers...
This is the type of game Rodgers comes in with a goal
at Villa Park and doing the cold celly in front of his boy's face.
Yeah, it scares me. Maybe I'll bench Beto because if he blanks, it doesn't matter because no one has him. So it's like kind of like hedging against bad situations. because I do want to start JP.
But
Dude, this guy has revived your season. You can't bench him. Are you kidding me?
He's playing my boys though, so it's like I don't want to root for him.
He's playing your boys who are
Suck.
so horrible right now.
Yeah, I know.
Andy's
But
on
still,
pen.
like, I don't want to root for him, bro. We
There's
don't
just-
know. We don't know if he's on pens.
We pretty much know he's on that. Like,
We'll see what happens.
I know that you won't bench Beto, and I hope for your sake that you don't.
But we'll see. We'll see.
It's
But let's move on to differential of the week.
Okay.
The thing that I've won 5 in a row.
we've already talked enough about our moves. I think everyone has a pretty good idea of what we're doing.
All right. I mean, you're doing assistant manager or rolling. I'm doing assistant manager or rolling. Coupe.
I'm waiting for the team news on Gakpo before I do anything.
Okay.
Gakpo or roll.
So, Gakpo or rolling.
But it's like, dude, who do I even go? Who do I even move to? Like, honestly, even if Gakpo,
Mateus Cunha.
Yeah, Cunha.
not right now. Even if Gakpo's injured, I might play. Even if Gakpo's injured, I might play four defenders this week.
You're gonna play a 4-5-1.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
that's-
I did it
four
twice
of
in
them-
green.
four of them have like the three guys who are not Trent have home fixtures, so I'm considering it.
It's not a bad.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, differential. Hassan, you start.
I don't want to start.
Start.
Who should I go with? I am going to go with Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Is he still under 10% owned?
Yeah, because I want to back Glasner. So I'm gonna go with his star man,
He's been an
Jean-Philippe
absolute machine.
Mateta.
He's been
he has.
ridiculous.
I agree, and I think he will continue to be a machine. And I will go with him.
I shall be going with. Do I go Noir? What the fuck his name is? Noire? I really want to
Nwaneri.
go. I'm going to go this guy just because I fucking love him. Paul Owanacho, Southampton at home, baby. Big Paul.
Wait,
Paul.
Who is that?
Dude, he's their striker. Paul.
Oh, he's Southampton's striker.
Tall Paul.
Coupe.
Thinking
And while Coupe's thinking of his option, I just want to let the viewers know that I did win this week again with Marcus Rashford, 8-pointer. McAllister got nothing from the double. Charlie, who did
Asensio.
Who did you pick? Asensio got nothing from the double. I've won 5 in a row. I currently lead the leaderboard 6-3-3. Coupe, please provide
Go
us.
Sulemana, and then we can have a Southampton battle.
Suleiman. Oh, is that the guy that put Lenny Yoro on toast?
Yeah.
Camel Dean.
Go Camaldine. Please go Camaldine.
There's so many guys that have good fixtures you guys didn't name, but
I want Jean-Philippe Mateta.
I want a Tall Paul.
I need to get back on the leaderboard. I'm gonna go with maybe objectively the best play here. I'm gonna go with Trossard.
Oh, I have him in my team. I hope you win, dude. I hope you win.
Thanks.
Let's go, dude. Go with Tross,
Go
baby.
Nwaneri, and then you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm changing to an area.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot do that, Coupe.
Fine. I'll stick with Tross.
Yeah, let's go, boy. Let's go, boy. And with that is episode 19 wrapped up. I've moved up 700K in rank in 2 weeks. Let's make it another 700, baby. Let's make it another 700. I am coming for you guys, okay?
What would you need to move into the top 45K?
A lot. I would need my 3rd straight Centurion week.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to get off the lazy river, boys. That's all I want. If I take a 500K rank decrease, but I get off the lazy river, I'll take it.
That's good. Well, with that being said, fellas, it was a great episode, and I look forward to watching this weekend and seeing what happens and discussing it next Thursday. So,
Boys,
sayonara.